Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Natalie Rydstrom, and to my left is the Super Bowl NFL betting expert, Peter Loshak. I can call you that, right?
Yes, I would sort of prefer aspiring expert. Let's say aspiring expert.
Now listen, Pete is here to help us run through the Super Bowl with some prop bets at the end. But right now, I'm just going to talk about some exciting news. Now, obviously, Super Bowl 51 is just 1 week away. Super exciting. Pete, myself, and Mike Brenner will be actually at Punta Cana, where we will be filming. We're filming the Super Bowl, aren't we?
Yes.
And also a poker tournament live, which is going to be streamed.
Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
That is right. I've never been before.
Me neither.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. But it's going to be streamed over on our SBR forum, so just check that out. Now, while all bookmakers are currently offering the same spread, if you want to be able to win more for the same size wager, it is important to choose a reduced juice sportsbook. Now, Pete, you may have noticed I am wearing a Pinnacle t-shirt.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I look at women's eyes, you know. I don't look anywhere else when I talk to women.
That's not what you said on the Miss Universe video.
No, it is. It's a nice t-shirt. I like the colors. I like their logo.
I like
it's nice.
it. I like it too,
Some
actually.
logos are kind of crappy. That's a nice one. Sharp,
It is.
Sharp,
yeah.
clean, and crisp. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Pinnacle is actually one of our video sponsors, but Pinnacle also happens to be known as one of the best reduced juice bookmakers in the industry. At Pinnacle, instead of laying minus 110, the Super Bowl line is currently minus 105 on both sides, meaning that every $1,000 won, you have to risk $50 less, which is quite a saving if you also,
absolutely.
You know, as the time goes by, it's quite a bit.
No question. I mean, yes, for one game, it's not a big deal, but over a whole season, over a whole year, it's huge.
Yeah. Now, in addition to the reduced juice, Pinnacle has some of the largest limits in town and is currently accepting over $78,000 per point spread. Would you? Is that the kind of money that you lay on your bets?
It's a little bit out of my personal pay grade, but yeah, I mean, that's what Pinnacle does. Their lines are they're so good at what they do that they're able to offer huge limits that other books just aren't able to do because it's just too risky for them. But Pinnacle is so sharp at what they do that they're able to offer. That's another big benefit of playing at Pinnacle.
Yeah, well, you can also bet the limit more than once.
Yes, absolutely.
So there you go.
Yes.
Now, if you're not so fortunate to live in a country presently serviced by Pinnacle, make sure to choose a well-rated sportsbook that pays on time. So check out the Sportsbook Review rating guide to find a betting site that's right for you. Now, another topic of interest amongst our SBR forum posters and gamblers worldwide is the Super Bowl 51 prop betting market, which where's our expert Pete comes into play here. So what prop bets do you have your eye on?
Oh, you mean specific prop bets?
I don't know, like what? Yeah,
okay. Well, I can discuss prop betting in general. I mean, in general, I do tend to look to bet on the no sides of props because the public loves to bet Super Bowl props, and they love to bet, of course, you know, for their favorite players to achieve something, like for a player to score a touchdown. So the betting value, in my opinion, tends more often than not to be on the no side of things, right? Like will a certain wide receiver score a touchdown? In general, I'm looking at the nose when it comes to betting those kinds of props.
That seems quite like negative. Sorry, it's like you're always like the
no.
Like your cup is half.
It's not that fun.
So you're like a half-empty one rather than they can do it. You're like, no, they can't.
Yes, absolutely. But that's why the betting value tends to be there. And if you care about it from a fan perspective, you might have more fun. If you're doing it recreationally, it might be more fun for you to bet your favorite players to accomplish something. But if you're purely looking at it from a betting perspective, which is how I look at things, you're looking for a relatively boring and unexciting game, usually, more often than not. But not always, though.
Well, because I also heard as well that there are like over 400 prop bets that you can actually make on the Super Bowl.
Over 400 prop bets, and it's very interesting because first of all, a lot of those bets do tend to have values and big value, and I actually know a professional sports betting outfit that tries to get as much down as they can because they hedge all of their bets out on the props. They think there's big value in Super Bowl props, and they try to get their whole bankroll if they can down on Super Bowl props. The key is though to be careful of correlation because all the props are correlated. So if you wind up betting the over in passing yards for a quarterback and his receivers having overs and everything, they're all obviously very heavily correlated. So you have to be very careful about that. But there's a lot of props that are offered and a lot of props with betting value for sure.
Yeah. And also actually over at Sportsbook Review, there's a list of the prop bets that you can take. So if you guys don't know them, obviously 400 is quite a lot to list off, although I bet our pro here could list them all off, and unfortunately we don't have time for that.
Right.
But yeah.
It's the usual suspects, offensive and defensive props, player props, team yardage props, sack props, safety props, all those kinds of things.
There we go. There we go. All right. Also, and one thing as well, like the spread. Is that a sort of like a popular market as well?
It's massive.
And mine, I like that one too.
Yes, it's a spread. And this one is very interesting because I think that the spread is going to take a lot of, this year it's going to take a lot of betting action on both sides because it's on what they call a key number, which is 3. And I don't think that sometimes the spreads in the Super Bowl do move significantly. In my personal opinion, it's going to close on 3. I don't think we're going to see a lot of line movement on the spread in general, not because there's not a lot of betting action, but because I think it's going to be very, very split on both sides. So, yeah.
And do you have any early leans that you can present, or do we have to wait for future coverage?
No, I'll share it. Yeah. My early lean was on the under. I think that the under might be worth the bet. It's a very high total this year, which is 58.5, or even some 59s are out there. And I took a small bet on the under, although I'm waiting because I think that the line's going to get bet up. I think it might get bet up to maybe even 60, 59 or 59.5 market wide. But I'm in general leaning under here. It's understandable why the total is so high. And in the conference championships, we also saw a total at 60, which was super, super high. And in our videos actually at SBR, I said that I like the over on that one. It did go over in the Super Bowl this year. I think I'm leaning towards the under, but that's my only early opinion that I feel confident enough in to share.
There we go, and stay tuned for more videos from Pete and Mike Brenner as we get closer to the Super Bowl. And also, if you've not signed up for the bookie to bet the Super Bowl, our recommendation would be Pinnacle. Do check them out. They are one of the best. Pete, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah.